it's dry.
Tracking the fire danger and how crews are preparing.
I live over in Santee, so it's like really hot.
How to stay safe during this winter heat wave.
Plus, how to dispute your SDG&E bill if you think it's wrong.
I do it out of a place of complete love.
Meet the San Diego man whose near-death experience made him open a puppy rescue.
It's a very intriguing matchup.
Former NFL stars weigh in ahead of the Super Bowl. You're up with CBS 8. Just a little bit of yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's some Friday vibes for you. Good morning to everybody on this Friday. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Netta Irampur. I know we've been getting so excited about the Super Bowl, the halftime show. So we'll get into all of that coming up. But our top story this morning, of course, that heat, this warm weather we've been experiencing.
It's getting hot in here, just like the song says. Yeah, we have some team coverage for you here on this winter heat wave. Chris Grow in Escondido monitoring the fire danger. Dana Marie McNichol is in Coronado with how San Diegans are handling the heat.
But we're going to begin with Evan, who has a closer look now at these temperatures, how hot we're going to get today. Evan.
Yeah, it was a warm one yesterday. Many records broken across San Diego County and even up in Orange County as well. Santa Ana made it to 90 degrees, but Vista was one of the big record breakers at 91, beat that previous record by 5 degrees. Oceanside made it to 88 and 89 in Escondido yesterday. So with these records broken yesterday, what does that translate to for today, for our Friday? Well, we're going to see those warm temperatures stick around. Not going to be quite as warm, though. We have low 80s in the forecast across the coastline. That's because those Santa Ana winds won't be quite as active. So instead of sending all that warm, dry air from the deserts and from your inland valleys toward the coast, we're going to see the coast cap out at about the low 80s, 86 inland with plenty of sunshine through and through. Those wind gusts pick back up for your Saturday afternoon. That's the time frame that we're going to watch out for. As far as the weekend goes, we're hanging on to the warmth. Sunshine lasts for Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures are going to be in the low 80s as opposed to a Super Bowl that, of course, happens in February. It's going to feel like a Super Bowl that would happen in August because these temperatures are more like what August would look like. But keep in mind, there are, of course, those precautions that you can take. It's going to be very, very sunny out there, so seek some shade if you're going to be out there over the course of the weekend. And remember that those Santa Ana wind gusts pick up on Saturday. We'll talk about a change in the forecast in just a few minutes, but the conditions that we're seeing right now, of course, keeping firefighters on high alert. We're going to send things over to Chris Grow in Escondido this morning. He has more on that fire danger across our county. Good morning, Chris.
Yeah, good morning, Evan. And as you know, it's not even just firefighters that need to be prepared, that need to be on alert. It's really everyone here in San Diego County because fires can spark anywhere and at any time. And as he just pointed out, again, seeing record-breaking heat numbers here in the month of February, that really speaks to the issue. In fact, again, take a look at this. We had an example in Little Italy, of all places, where this fire broke out, sparking just by Washington Elementary School. So again, somewhere very close to a lot of vulnerable people. Students and teachers, they had to self-evacuate, but it did turn out to just be several trees that caught fire in the area. A second fire broke out nearby on the freeway, but fire crews were able to knock down both with no structure damage. So that was a bit of good news. It's a reminder, though, to always be prepared and aware. CAL FIRE says avoid clearing defensible spaces during this heat wave and do what you can to stay fire prepared from inside. They are also recommending that you go over evacuation routes just like they have to make sure, again, that you are alert and know where to go, what to do when things do break out like we saw yesterday.
And we want to make sure that we're all on the same page, we're all working in sync so that if we have a wildland fire today or any other day, we all show up on scene ready to go and we're ready to evacuate folks at a moment's notice.
And this was the big headline yesterday, the Laguna Beach brush fire scorching more than 140 acres as of last count. It's only at 20% containment. That's the latest update so far that we have this morning. Obviously, this burning in a very, very well-known area. It's, again, only at 20% containment. Firefighters and crews worked through the night to get this thing at a better containment number, but that is something that we're keeping a very close eye on because, obviously, so close to us and so many people here in San Diego County having a connection up north up there as well, too, just a short drive away. So, again, back out here live. We are continuing to follow things here in San Diego County as well, too, including the heat. And for more on that, we're going to turn now to CBS 8's Dana Marie McNichol. Dana Marie?
Well, thank you, Chris, for all of that information on fire. But here in Coronado, the sun is just rising and people are already getting out to enjoy their morning, maybe getting that walk in before the sun rises, so that heat is expected today and tomorrow. The beaches have been packed. Some people in San Diego loving the heat. Others are saying this is February. This is supposed to be winter. Why are we not having these winter conditions?
It was pretty nice, and my dad has a convertible, so the breeze was good.
I live over in Santee, so it's like really hot. So coming over here was like, it's kind of relieving, you know? It's like it's coming into the beach at night.
So we went to San Diego beaches and just to speak with people, see how they're dealing with the heat. Some people are saying that they're dealing with a lot of allergies due to those Santa Ana winds. They don't like it for their eyes. It's making them absolutely miserable. Those strangely hot days and these conditions are making some of them, putting them in a bad mood, but others are thriving in these conditions. They're loving that coastal breeze, some from relief. Even in East County to the coast, everyone was feeling the heat. So of course we're supposed to be in winter, but it definitely caught some people off guard. We met Angela, who moved here from Kansas 2 years ago, and on days like this she's really missing home.
I miss my seasons, I admit it. I miss my seasons from Kansas. They just had a major snowstorm last week and I was not there.
Now, just a reminder, stay hydrated. Also use that sunscreen. Maybe you're waking up this morning wondering, what do I wear? It's pretty chilly right now, but of course, Evan always says wear your layers because this is a day you're definitely going to need it. But I look at it as a beautiful gift. Get outside, enjoy that sunshine. Many people all over the country right now are dealing with some really intense temperatures, chilly temperatures. So grab that water bottle. You'll be safe if you stay hydrated out there. Live in Coronado, I'll send it back to you.
And it looks so pretty already in Coronado as we wait for that sunrise. Thanks, Dana Marie. A new class action lawsuit accuses the San Diego Sheriff's Department of creating deadly conditions inside its facilities. This suit was just filed by the ACLU on behalf of county jail inmates. It cites violations of the Americans with Disabilities Act, excuse me, and says jail officials are failing to provide decent care and living conditions for inmates. This comes after a report from the state auditor blamed the Sheriff's Department for failing to prevent multiple inmate deaths.
San Diego's inflation rate ballooned to its highest point since 1982, reaching 8.2% last month. That outpaced the national inflation rate of 7.5%. Prices for gas, food, cars drove this surge. Two metro areas that beat San Diego: Tampa, St. Petersburg in Florida, and nearby Riverside, California. Coming up in today's Money Watch report here at 6:30, a closer look at the items we are all paying a lot more for. Speaking of paying more, high SDG&E bills continue to frustrate a lot of people around San Diego County, with many left without a clear explanation for these rising prices. Now, there are ways you can dispute the bill if you feel it is wrong. To file a complaint, SDG&E says to call them, but that can take forever. But we found you can also file a utility complaint online through the California Public Utilities Commission. You'll need to fill out some personal information here, give them your account number, state your case. You also need to include a response from SDG&E and what you want resolved. You can also go through the Better Business Bureau. We have all the links you need to know at CBS8.com. Just click on this story. And remember, you can text the word AMPED to 858-571-8888 to see all of our recent amped up coverage or to give your feedback to SDG&E.
Okay, and when it comes to the forecast for the weekend, I think I'll be cranking up the fans inside our house.
Yeah.
A heater probably in use for, what, 1 month, and now AC fans.
Yeah, now this has been the week where I'm not faulting anyone for cranking up the AC. I mean, it is a hot one, and you see outside as we kick off your morning that it is still dark, so temperatures are still dropping just a bit over the next about half hour or so before we start to see them increase. Keep in mind, weekend's going to continue with the same pattern that we saw over the course of the work week, which is low 80s. Now, these low 80s are, of course, slightly cooler than the upper 80s that we saw yesterday, with Vista capping out at 91 yesterday. So we'll cool down by a few degrees for today into your Saturday and Sunday, but keep in mind that these temperatures are more in line with what we would expect for about mid-August as opposed to mid-February. So a much warmer pattern of weather that we're seeing, with a ridge of high pressure, a stagnant ridge that is not moving anywhere, sitting overhead. Wind speeds are going to be something that just kind of ebb and flow a bit. So you can see as we go into the next couple hours, one thing that remains consistent is offshore flow. We're going to remain very dry out there. Skin is dry. dry, eyes are dry. We've been told by a lot of people of how that's affecting them personally, and that's going to remain the case over the course of the weekend. Best chance to start to pick up on that onshore flow is going to be Monday of next week, where temperatures start to decline and we see a low pressure system that will move in and likely bring us a bout of some wet weather into Tuesday of next week. That's the site to set your eyes on, which we'll look at that 8-day forecast in a few minutes. But looking at your wind speeds right now, we're mostly in the teens across your mountaintops, single digits across the greater coastline. Temperatures outside are not too bad. We've got mainly 40s and 50s, but there are some pockets of 30s on there. Ramona right now, 35 degrees. So there are some spots on this map where it's a good idea to have a coat with you as you walk out the door. But Ramona, for example, at 35 is going to more than double by the time we get to about 2 and 3 p.m. So you can see the change that we're expecting on hand. You add 20 degrees to where Ramona is right now, and 55 is what we see in Fallbrook, for example, 58 in Chula Vista. So really going to be selective as to where you're going to want to keep that jacket in the start of the morning hours. Some spots a little bit warmer, other spots experiencing a bit of the cold out there. Let's talk about what's going on in traffic this morning. You can see there are no major crashes or collisions to get to on the map here. We will keep you up to date here as well as on cbs8.com/traffic, but otherwise you should be good to go for that morning commute. Back to